fight the power like Big Chuck.
What's the status, 3?
I'm good, just making the world a better place, that's all.
Between earth and God, I'm a byproduct. I come from a family of hustlers. That byproduct, money is the root of all evil. But I'm still trying to find a large profit. It's a mirage, they live in a facade. I was smoking thigh and had a talk with God. She told me why she named me John. I author scriptures to shed light on the darker picture. If you my dog, I'm barking with you. You feeling the star of wisdom. My homie Chuck told me it was giants on earth before me. And chemtrails, we inhale. That's another story. Mercury is used to check temperature. The sun is the spirit sent in the earth. The moon is the portal, assuming you important. Set your turn. Mars is wars as the M turn. And change words, I'm in the game for change service. About to disassemble a bomb, I ain't nervous.
Drake, Dragon, Draco, Draconian, land of the giants, ice wall, Patagonian, lexicon, word wizardry, speaking Babylonian, highways of the vortex, shooting out the fallopian, low vibrating light, king of the material, mark of the beast, nanotech, scanning serial, the mental dead, carried by 6 to your burial, the lights is out. No resurrection, broken power grid, no interconnection. The Grim Reaper, I'm so collecting. 6-shot, hollow tip, rubber grip, Smith & Wesson. Bitch, repent when God is in your presence. Your aura is weak, uproot your essence. I walk through darkness, highly illuminated. Eyes blazing with fire, with blades double serrated. Hunting down clowns I double hated. Hit so hard your jaw is elongated. Shatter egos like they was glass plated. This was long overdue, past dated. One shot deal, it is as is and no recreation. All praises due to my parents for making. Always appreciate and never abated. One.
The A is the M like the A is the E. Where earlier I said, hey, you know how somebody say, hey.
Domain expansion.
Road One Production.
Welcome to the abyss. The unstoppable one. I am the illest, no doubt. Sporadic, eternal fire. There is no putting me out. I'm sending fiery rain, destroying cities and towns. The government never changed, so I'm taking them out. The FBI is a bitch. The CIA is a bitch. The NSA is a bitch. I know they watching this shit. We fuck around and get hit. My rebels fully equipped to take the enemy down and ride out in their whip. And counting all of the chips.
Sorry, there's gonna be a lot of noise, everybody, because they're still working on a effing Sunday. But first I want to thank Lucid for the donation, for helping me try to get to my goal, to get to this funeral, man. I appreciate you, Lucid. You always kept it 1,000, man. I really appreciate it. Thank you. And we're about to get into the video by John Levi. Now, he's one of the few people I hear talking about the Patagonian tribe, their cloaking technology, and how all these lands are being pretty much, I don't know, I want to say stolen. People are being slaughtered out of their lands. And he's one of the few I hear talk about the Patagonian tribe. Now, this cloaking technology is something new to me, but he somehow got some footage. I think it's from the 1890s or maybe a little later than that, but this dude's 15 feet tall, easy, and they live in the mountains still. And he gets into these underground, I don't know if they're pathways or roads, but these underground roadways are connected from temple to temple. I personally think these roadways go under the ocean and connect. It's fucking noise, man. These people, they don't take a break. I think the temples in Angkor Wat connect to South America and so on and so forth. Just like the Grand Canyon's been covered up very heavily too. But we're gonna get into all of that. So I'm gonna set it off. Since there's so much fucking noise in the background, I'm gonna set it off and let John Levi show his research, which I watched this yesterday. It's very good. I like John Levy's channel. So shout out to John Levi, man. Let's get into this video real quick.
Okay, so this is kind of getting stupid. I'm in this city in South America, and the city looks abandoned. It's a city that could hold millions, as much as any American city. Look at the power lines. Does this not look like what we see in old black and white photos in North America? Like some chaos? Look down this street. Everything for sale, everything boarded up, and this is a no-namer. This will be after my last video where I showed a bunch of this. And many cities in Argentina have been cleaned up. I told you how I fell in love with one of the cities, Rosario. And I'm just blown away. Just how we look at cities in North America in the 1850s that are completely built out and in ruins. Look at this place. This is a no-namer. I'll tell you what this town is called, or city. Massive, abandoned, formerly glorious city is called. I'm actually just editing my last video. You haven't seen it yet, but you will have by the time you hear these words. But I was trying to get a street view. I'd seen this city, which is actually in Paraguay. Paraguay. The nation, the country of Paraguay. Just totally behind, so behind. The cars should give you a feel. Here we see Google Paraguay or something. Some private service it looked like. But look at this downtown. Look at this skyscraper, both of these. Totally in ruins. For how long? For how long all of this? I mean, at best somebody has come in and boarded things up to prepare for the unveiling of this city. It's so not ready that we're not allowed to go down these side streets. You can see they won't let me. We can go down this one. So here we go. Brick revealed, just absolute crumbling. And I hope I show you the strange footage. Also, a reminder to myself that someone shared with me. Come on, does this make sense here? Look at this. So for this week, I thank you for being here. I love you all. God bless and welcome. Okay, so let me show you this city here. Really strange. Like I said, I shouldn't even be making this video right now. I mean, I'm doing something else, that's all. And this is pure inspiration. In that last video, I showed you what I called Starfort ruins here. This was up on a hill, and they've paved right over it, scraped everything clean, a lot of scraping. And it's kind of a strange government here in Paraguay. Argentina, already on the other side of the river here, really having their shit together by now. But over here in Paraguay, and this city is called, honestly I don't know what it's called, San Lorenzo perhaps? Maybe that's over here. It looks like just a whole bunch of cities, like some mega metropolis out in the jungle. San Lorenzo, we're gonna call it, or Asuncion. But as you can see, it's a whole bunch of cities, just unbelievable. And let me do a street view to show you. So we can't really see very much. They're just starting to scratch the surface, probably when they've been sufficiently cleaned up. But this is looking really downtowny here. Here we see a cathedral street, that's where we just were. And again, if you drop the man, they only give you this. Pretty good. Pretty good. And there's just so much. There's more than these people need. This is a city for 10 million people, similar to Buenos Aires. And no doubt these are the castle cities depicted on these old maps. So let me finish editing my video, and I'll take some time to place some pins here, and we'll try to make sense of this city. I always admired Buddhists, or anyone living in a kind of retreat. I feel like in the West, people living a life doesn't involve work are considered lazy. And have you done enough? Have I done enough? I ask myself this. In India, when a man reaches a certain age, it's acceptable to just leave his family and embark on his spiritual life, having performed his social and family duties. And this may be around the age of 30 or 40. I guess I'm going to start off with this man here, since this man is here on my screen. Maxwell Chikumbutso. And you can see here, why is the world ignoring Maxwell? What did Maxwell invent? What did he invent in Africa? I think I've told you I'm technically part African. My father was born in Algeria, town on the southern Mediterranean, and it was a nice town until some war. It was originally owned, I shouldn't say originally, it was shortly hijacked by France, and my father was born in that time. And then everybody had to flee. It's really no different today. In the past you had to flee because of poverty, war, and today you might have to flee because of a fire or a big chemical spill, train derailment, poisonous water, flammable sometime. And really man displacing man. And nobody cares in the West about the people. It's all about the dollar. Everything. We liberate some countries while other oppressed people, like the Tibetans, are left to rot. I am a libertarian, and I agree with the words of Lao Tzu, the ancient Chinese philosopher, who said the best leader or ruler or king is one who governs least. And it goes back to what I started off with. Have you done enough? Has our government done enough? All of them. Really, they're just serving the interests of those who line their pockets at this point. And those who continue to add to their excessive purse or stockpile are sick people. Again, Lao Tzu, know what is enough, and you'll always have enough. And there is enough. They want us to live in fear and a mentality of scarcity. But the truth is there's abundance. There's abundance if people would just get out of the way. This man, Maxwell from Africa, has invented a new vehicle that runs off of nothing. And is it really nothing? No, of course it's something. But it's something that is dismissed.
Running off the
something that
ether.
exists everywhere in abundance. It may be said it's the source of everything. And he could run a house, a car, anything off of this little box. Essentially, he's running it off of ETH. And they call this a lot of different things. I don't think you can get a patent for something that runs off of ether. It's just wording. It's not recognized as a source, even though it used to be on the periodic table and was removed. And amazingly, nobody is touting this. I mean, it's a thing that's been going on for 150 years, ever since Nikola Tesla. And it's exactly what we see on the tops of all of these buildings. And finally, someone bringing the old technology,
Before I play the next part, this is the picture of Can of Dummy.
The technology that was understood in the past. I don't know how many times I've shown on this channel, especially years ago, people sending balloons up and showing that voltage exists. And the higher up you go,
I just want to say he's just about to talk about the higher up you go, the more electrical current, which means the dome is spinning, which is creating the ether, the electrical current. That proves that. That also proves that it pretty much debunks any Helios model.
The technology that was understood in the past. I don't know how many times I've shown on this channel, especially years ago, people sending balloons up and showing that voltage exists. And the higher up you go, the stronger the voltage. Hence why it would be beneficial to build a big tower. But with the case of this man, he's designed the whole power source to fit in something that could be carried around like a briefcase. This is essentially the engine, and the real power is not in the car. It's outside of the car. This is very similar to us as individuals. The mind will try to reason with us, tell us that we are the source, we are in control. But nothing could be further from the truth. We were forged from dirt and water by an intelligence. Our heart beats with or without our consent. And even while you sleep, you are breathed. Again, the power source is outside of the perceived self. And in this case, car. So really great. I could say more, but let's look at something else. Next, I want to talk about the fly that keeps buzzing in my ear, right in the ear, as if it wants to fly in my brain. I suppose I'll let it. So this next part pertains to the native people of Patagonia in South America, in the Terra del Fuego region, the land of fire. I've touched on it in the last 3 videos, and I want to discuss them. First, I want to quickly discuss the Ainu people. The Ainu are the original inhabitants of Japan, and now they have commingled and interbred the modern Japanese people, but originally they were a Caucasian bearded people with totally different customs and traditions than the modern Japanese. And these people have completely been swept under the rug. Right up until recent times. I've been talking about them on my channel since the beginning, but here we can see it was only 4 years ago that Japan passed laws to officially recognize them as an indigenous tribe, and this article is written in 2023. Here we can see an old photo of the Ainu people, and sometimes the women would have tattoos like a mustache. They also domesticated bears, kept them as pets, and we often see this with China, sweeping the Caucasian mummies that are found throughout their nation, usually underground. At one point they had a tour of the fair-skinned mummies until it became controversial and people began to question the rights of inheritance based on these findings, and it's true with all nations. It's quite possible that all nations have been hijacked by an imposter, and it's no different with the self. Your ideas of yourself may not be the true self. And these people, and all native people, hold a big clue. I think when the reset occurred, not that long ago, the survivors were rendered primitive. Perhaps 1 or 2 generations would pass, and they would hold on to their traditions in the only way they could. They would occupy their cities, now in ruins, until groups of control would move in and displace these people realm-wide on all continents, and their histories would simply be replaced and rewritten, and they would be treated like shit, in short. So this is a little backstory, again, the Ainu of Japan. But next I want to look at the Selknam people, South America. Let's take a pause. So when we look at these old maps, we're always told of giants in this southern region. Even here we can see what looks like a Spanish man on the right and an ass-kicking giant on the left. Again, we can see that on this map. And these people looking very similar to the Ainu of Japan, a Caucasian bearded people. And what does our history say about these people? Of course, if you're sitting in a classroom, you'll never hear about these people. And even throughout my research, I hadn't either. Although I knew the story would be the same. We have old legends, maps from other nations, and that's the importance, is when this history, such as map making, comes from other nations, they will not share the same interest as those who push the current narrative. We can discover lost people, lost land masses, and even topography before things were supposedly covered with snow and ice. So the Selknam are an indigenous people in the Patagonia region of Argentina, Chile, and the Tierra del Fuego Islands. They were one of the last groups in South America to be encountered by Europeans in the late 19th century. Settlement, gold mining, and farming in the region were followed by the Selknam genocide. In the mid-19th century, there were about 4,000 Selknam, and by 1930 there were over 100, and this is just the ones they could count while they were wiping them out. In 2017, Chilean census indicated a little over 1,000 people declared themselves to be Selknam. However, in 2020 they were considered extinct as a people by the government in Chile. They are believed to have originated from the mainland. They migrated by canoe across the Straits of Magellan. They shared Tierra del Fuego with the Hosh people, another nomadic culture, and the Yoghen. In 1599, so now it's getting stupid, a Dutch fleet led by Oliver van Noort, this man, entered the Strait of Magellan and had a hostile encounter with the natives, which left about 40 of them lifeless. James Cook, tight-wearing man with a wig, in 1769 met a people in Tierra del Fuego that used pieces of glass in their arrowheads, so indicating that there's glass ruins of a city, and they're using these to tip their arrows. Europeans moved in the late 19th century, so here's where it really begins, in my opinion. Men in tights and wigs is just mythology. Now we have newcomers developing the land as ranches, depriving natives of their ancestral hunting areas. Similar to North America, the Selknam, who did not have a concept of private property, considered the sheep herds to be game and would hunt the sheep. The ranch owners regarded this as poaching and paid groups to hunt down the Selknam. and basically eradicate them. I mean, it's completely backwards. These people encroached on these natives' hunting grounds, and it's no different today. They do the same thing with wild animals. Wild horses and burros are removed from Bureau of Land Management land because they're considered squatters and trespassers. The government wants to lease these lands to cattle and sheep ranchers. It's no different today, and they displace the animals. In the past, it was displacing the people, and now the animals. And I'm considering adopting some burros. It said they keep coyotes away, and they're cute. Anyway, let's get to it. A common comment about the Selknam was their height. In early records, they were recorded as giants. Again, I'm reading from this mainstream site, and the truth is everywhere, like I always say. Just nobody's gonna put the pieces together for us. Their average height was 6 foot and sometimes 6.5 foot tall. That was the average. And this is our history in every nation. People rolling in and displacing a people in order to mine gold, and really I think it was just pillaging of cities. Native people had always gathered gold and had a stash, really had no need for it. Here we're told in 1879 the presence of significant gold deposits in Tierra del Fuego were reported. Like a San Francisco gold rush here, in the most difficult place to reach in this time period, tip of South America. There is some good news. These people have finally been given recognition and essentially the rights to live. And in 2010, the census revealed about 3,000 people recognizing themselves as Selknam. And speaking of Amazon women, let me just flash a picture of Jeff Bezos' wife, and let's take a quick pause. How could I not talk about giants of South America and leave out the work of Gladys Cordova? Gladys has hundreds of videos that she filmed on a mountain in Peru, and she shows these giants walking on a mountain. And it's one of my favorite videos. And these giants, not just this one, but many that have been filmed in South America, are not just in the 6.5 or 7 foot range. They're in the 12 to 15 foot range. All throughout history, we have bones that have been discovered and then ushered away, hidden from the public, denied existence. We have photos, of course, of people that fit this bill, and just the way that this guy moved tells me that these people are still persecuted. But the way that he's dressed is not something primitive. This shows a people with a culture. And I think these people have a type of cloaking technology, and this man's cloaking technology is not functioning. It flickers in and out. But he has comrades around here whose technology is working perfectly. And you can just see little strobes of light. You can even see him talking to a little strobe of light here on this ledge that looks like an old road. And Gladys even sees it. She's circled it for us. And you can see it gets brighter as he approaches, brighter. And if you watch this whole video clip, you can even see him kneeling down and talking to one. Here you can see dirt that he's kicked up. Really amazing footage. Here he's past another small light, and he's like picking his nose right there, or scratching his face. And here he'll have a little discussion right here. He passes one of these orbs and stops to talk to it, really hunching down and having a chat. Seems like there's a lot to discuss. And again, an overall air of concern with the man that we can see. He says, okay, he's a little concerned, and he moves on. And in kind of a hurry, not a leisurely stroll. And we could see that at the end here, how apprehensive he is to go around this corner. He carefully looks over, carefully looking over. And this is just excellent, excellent footage. Again, this man is at a minimum 15 feet tall. And Gladys does comparisons. This footage sucks. I'm going to have to interject some better footage. I don't know what happened to my copy here. But there he goes, over the hill. He feels safe and relieved that he has eluded any attention. Here again we can see this terrain, exactly where he was moving through. When she sends her family members up here, they're struggling. It takes them hours to cover what he did in a few minutes. And I think that this battle is still going on. So let's take another quick pause, and I want to show you an architectural segment. Okay, so I discovered this in my last video, but didn't really show you or get to say anything about it. There's just so much to cover. Here we can see Buenos Aires in South America. If you recall in that video, we went up this river and we found this little city, little town called San Nicolas. And I've yet to come through this whole city, but at a quick glance I found this. Boom. And I'm always looking for like a capitol building, a courthouse, something with dome, some towers, columns. And I always find these sites by first looking for the beautiful gardens. We see the beautiful gardens, and then we zoom in and we have this amazing domed capitol style building. And this is gold. This is absolute gold. This is what I've been looking for years. Now, I've made countless videos showcasing these style buildings all over the world. Vatican type building, governmental in the US, usually state capitals or federal. And I've long stated on this channel that I believe these are inherited structures and have been repurposed. There's no way they could or would be built in this time period by our founding fathers. And I thought, God, if it's true, surely some underdeveloped country, or supposedly underdeveloped in modern times, would have such buildings sitting there preserved in brick. Yes, in brick, because the whole realm was built in brick. And it wasn't until recently, until some past reset, realistically 2 resets ago, where these buildings were refacaded, turned white, covering their original brick. And in short, this one has not been doctored up, and this one is not a government building. Again, this is in Argentina, and this is a no-name town. No-namer in the bush. And here we go. Let's drop the man, and boom. Capitol building, kind of in ruins. They don't want to let us get any closer. But here she is. Like I said, something I've been looking for quite a while. Looks like there is some scaffolding here. It'll be interesting to keep an eye on this one. See what they ultimately do with it. The tech is just unbelievable on this thing. And presently a church, it looks like. There we go. No shits given. Just put a little cross up there. And you see, we don't have a lot of the Romanesque elements that we see usually attributed with buildings like this. Truth is, it's all brick and concrete. Pretty unbelievable find here. And what is this called? Many of you will have experienced this. When you're researching on this site, you will get kicked into oblivion over and over. This was called the Santuario Maria del Rosario de San Nicolas. There you go. Where are you going today, church? And what else has been scraped from here? I mean, this is just what they decided to keep. And here's a picture. Great picture. And what do you see? Already it has been refaced in this picture. No longer brick revealed, starting to look more like a modern capitol building. And look at the city. The city is pretty unbelievable. Let's copy this and punch it in to the search. Here we go. You can see how they're already done covering up this brick. Here's an old picture before they did this. And we can see the dome and this super tech up here. And let's just get a build date real quick if we could get anything. Again, history is being written and essentially worked on as we speak. And here in the Wikipedia we see the city is located 240 kilometers from Buenos Aires. Much further than I thought it was. Okay, I'm just not sure. When I punch it into ChatGPT, It tells me it began construction in 1985. They're telling us the interior of the sanctuary was inaugurated in 2014. So just as we saw, it was brick. Now they've covered it with some concrete facing. Really didn't do a very good job. Really didn't do much. And this is the sanctuary. They're telling us it's very recent. I don't know. Let me know what you think. I think I'll end this segment here. So for this week, I thank you for joining me.
Damn, right when I'm typing, it ends. Shout out to John Levy, man. So I was watching this other video, and he was showing, when you zoomed into this lake, you could see a motherboard in it. I was watching videos on what they're finding in South America, in like the jungle. But yeah, I think I'm gonna end it here. I just wanted to show some of that, say what's up. It's just gonna be mad noise, and there's really no point of me. What's up, Yahweh? Peace to everybody who came through. They'll probably hit me up for sharing that, but whatever. We'll see what happens. As long as I don't get a triangle, I'll leave it up. Oh, they're gonna hit me for that. Wait, what songs did I play? Anyway, fuck it. But yeah, peace out, everyone, man. I'll check y'all later, and next time, I'm out.